God be with you, Henry.
Welcome! God almighty, has something happened to you? Did someone steal your fancy clothes? Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
Good day, Henry.
What do you say to this?
Well now, a little more and we'll shake on it. Alright, so?
God be with you, Henry.
Jesus Christ be praised.
The bailiff sent me. He said you're looking for a cook.
That's right. I'm searching for a good cook, but I've said all that to our esteemed bailiff.
Well, I offered the bailiff my help because I know the Skalitz folk.
Ah, I see. Well, ask away then.
Do you have any particular requirements for the new cook?
Well, it would be an advantage if she knew how to cook.
Well, yes, but the bailiff said you had other conditions.
Well, I want a woman who's capable of looking after the house when I'm away on business.
Young? Nimble?
What for? I want her to impress people with her food, not her face.
I understand. Sorry. I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, it goes without saying.
I also heard that you need workers to carry To empty latrines.
It's not dignified to talk of such manners. That's not a concern for decent people.
But I need to know...
Enough. I won't have such talk in my home.
Good day, Henry.
Women must stick together, must
Welcome, Henry.
they? Welcome.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I'd like to ask about our former neighbours. There are jobs here for some of them, and I have to pick people.
The bailiff told me about it. He still wants our people to do the knacker's job?
But what of it? It will benefit everyone.
Not everyone. There's not enough work for everyone, and no one wants to do the knacker's job.
But having a job could save someone's life.
Water carrying, maybe. But if they have to do a job that's not fit for a decent person, only for the knacker or the executioner's servant?
So you think there's no point in it? That it's better to beg than have a job, even if it is hauling shit?
You forget that that's a job for the knacker's hired hand, not for displaced people. When we return to Skalitz, they'll never be able to rid themselves of the stink.
I'm also looking for a cook. Do you know of a good cook who's looking for work?
Well, there's Agnes. I've heard she can cook better than anyone. Only...
Well, what's the problem? Did something happen to her?
No, it's just that I haven't seen her around here for ages. I believe she's cooking for the local parish priest and living at the presbytery. So I don't think she's in need of work.
So, do you know who's most in need of some coin and is fit for hard work?
Everyone's in need of coin, but not everyone is fit for such work.
Well, who should I talk to then?
I'll talk to them myself and send them to meet you in front of the Rathaus, so they'll all be in one place. It'll take me a while, though.
Thanks. I'll go. How are you coping?
As well as we can, Henry. You can be glad Sir Radzig took you into his service. I hear you even go hunting with Lord Capon.
I've been once. And I don't think it'll be happening again anytime soon.
Ah, it's a shame. Because I was going to ask a favor of you. I'm sure you know there's a lot of hungry mouths here, so I thought you might be able to help.
I don't know. I'm not such a great hunter that I could feed all the refugees.
No, that's not what I meant. It's the townspeople here who have a taste for game. They want to live like the nobility, see? A few of the burghers have been to see me already, to ask if we'd try our luck in the woods. They promised us supplies in exchange. Flour, lard, eggs, and the like. But we can't afford to take the risk of poaching. We're barely tolerated as it is. If one of ours got caught in the woods, they'd hang him from the nearest tree. But I was thinking, you're in Sir Radzig's garrison, and you go hunting with Sir Hans. You could help us.
Well, I got away with brawling with Lord Capon, so I don't suppose they'll string me up for a few hares.
Great, Henry. I really appreciate it. The local tailor was asking me about getting some hares to put on a feast for a visiting merchant.
All right, I'll bring you something.
Thank you. You'll be saving us from starvation.
May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you, Henry.
God save you, Henry.
Blessed Virgin, disdain not our supplication.
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
Oh, I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Why not?
Because I'm still Father Francis's housekeeper.
But I heard he fled and isn't coming back.
Don't pay any attention. They're just rumors. I'm still his housekeeper.
Where's Father Francis now?
I don't know. The last time I saw him, he was going to confession in Sasau. But that was before all these terrible things happened. I've heard no word of him since then.
Does he go to Sasau often? Where does he stay when he's there?
Not so often. About once a month. He always used to stay in the inn near the monastery, so he wouldn't have far to go.
I'll ask around about what happened to Father Francis. I'll let you know.
Beneath thy mercy we take refuge, O Blessed Virgin. Disdain not our supplications in our distress, but deliver us from perils, only pure and blessed.
Hey! Henry, I'm glad you came. Hear ye, good people, and what of the gold-draped, fat-bellied sinners who call the cross? Us and the church dignitaries, but they the word.
Henry, I'm glad you came. God be with you, Henry.
Good health to you.
Good day, Henry.
God be with you, Henry.
How are you, Henry? I am at your service, Sir Knight.
Is there someone here who can compete with me in archery?
Of course. What do you think this range is for? How good are you with a bow? So I can find you a suitable opponent.
I've shot a few times.
Then you'll have no trouble finding an opponent. Advanced archers shoot 13 arrows. Splendid. Here's some arrows for you. But you can use your own if you want. Meanwhile, I'll round up the competition. Right, archers, let's begin. Welcome, Henry. Just over, archers.
God save you, Henry. How are you, Henry?
I'll be with you, Henry. How are you, Henry?
Greetings, good night. How may I serve you?
How does life in Rat Eye suit you?
I suppose it was kind of them to take us in, but then they just left us to fend for ourselves. Nobody gives a damn about us.
Did you find out what actually happened?
Folks say it was on account of our silver, and how Sir Radzig sides with the king.
You're here about the water carrying?
I am. Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch. You've heard of Tonda the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So did I get the job?
We're not finished yet. Are you here because you want to carry water?
Well, I'd rather be back at the winch. Turning it so fast I'd make everyone's head spin. But now I want to carry water at least, since there's some money in it.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
And what if I told you that you get double the pay?
Didn't I mention something about breaking legs?
You did, but more money?
I wouldn't be Tonda the winch anymore. More like Tonda the stench.
And how are you holding up?
Not very well, I'll tell you that. I help out with something every once in a while and get some money for it. But it's not enough. Especially when the dice don't fall in my favour.
Sure. And have you tried looking for other work?
What for? They'll get the mines running again, and I'll have a real man's job.
And what about soldiering? That's real man's work, isn't it?
It is, and I'd be good at it. When I land a punch, you'd think you were kicked by a horse. Which I once showed to a soldier I fell out with over a game of dice. Only, I'm too smart for soldiering.
No doubt. I heard you lot don't want to talk to the bailiff.
I don't know much about that. The others didn't talk to him, so I kept my mouth shut as well. That's the way we do it at the mines. He didn't even really ask me anything anyway. Just mumbled something under his breath.
What would you give me if I recommended you?
What could I give when I don't have a pot to piss in? All I have is a strong arm. Whenever I hit anything or anyone, they stay hit.
Well, if I get you the job, will you show me how to really hit someone hard?
I could. Deal then.
Deal.
Welcome, Henry. Here come
I know everything I need.
So, can I go?
Not yet.
Well, I hope he cheats.
If you think I'm afraid of you, you're mistaken.
We'll see.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
You're here about the water carrying?
Aye. I can haul water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
Pretend I'm not here.
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner,
You're just going to
then a
pretend
farm laborer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Scullets and ended up here.
Quite the factotum, aren't you?
pretend I'm not here.
Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all, but they were always sending me to do something else.
Talking to me?
Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman.
Not
That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vassal, but they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
not talking to me?
No, it's from when I was in the mines, digging with a pick.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
So you're keen on carrying water?
I've been keen on it since I got up this morning.
And you had another job before this morning, or what?
No. I was just joking.
Hey, am I invisible or what? You're just going to pretend I'm not here?
Besides water, you could carry... you could empty latrines.
What?
Hey,
Carry
am
shit?
I invisible or what?
That'd be a new one for me. No, it's not a thing I'd go around boasting about.
You're just going to pretend I'm not here?
How are you holding up, anyway?
Hey, am I
What
invisible
can I
or
tell
what?
you? I've seen better days for sure.
What happened with the
Just going
bailiff?
to pretend
He
I'm
couldn't
not
get a
here.
word out of anybody.
That peacock, what was strutting up and down and shouting at everyone? He told me he'd no time to listen to a buffoon like me. So I shut my mouth.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Hey, am I invisible or what?
Well, I could put in a good word for you, but you'll have to scratch my back, too.
Invisible or what?
Fair enough. Show me where it itches.
No, you dolt. It's just a saying. Like I do something for you, and you do something for me.
Pretend I'm not here.
Ah, right. I see. Well, as it happens,
You're just going
I've
to
got something
pretend I'm not
great
here.
for you. Treasure you wouldn't dream of.
Hey, am I invisible or
Treasure, you say? Right, you've got my attention.
I see you're a smart man. A man who knows a thing or two about the world. I've got... Wait for it. I've got a piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
what? Am I invisible?
Never heard of her. Who's she?
Shh. She was a great queen in ancient times. She gave Solomon a sword with magical powers.
Magical, eh? You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
No, it's true. It's in the Bible. And this sword, once it's put back together, nothing can stop it. It can cut through bones, teeth, even steel and stone.
I see. But you've only got one piece. What's that good for?
I couldn't get it all. The fellow I bought it off didn't have the rest. He sold off bits and pieces. They've got powers of healing, you see? And put strength in your... you know... manhood. What do you say? Deal?
We'll shake on it. I'll get you the job, and you'll give me the piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Agreed.
You're just going to pretend I'm not here?
What do you want?
I want to work. And I heard you're the one in charge of giving out jobs, not the bailiff.
It's true. Do you know how to cook? If you know how to make food for nobles, then I might have something for you.
Where would I learn to cook food for nobles? I want to carry water.
But Alex has already picked people who want to carry water.
He didn't ask me, though. So I came here myself.
Look, I already have more people than jobs. You're a bit late.
But I really need a job.
Well, so does everyone else around here.
None of them has a husband on his deathbed.
Henry, I'm glad you
He's dying.
He's badly wounded. So poorly he's been in his bed for weeks. Unconscious most of the time.
Sorry to hear it.
I already owe the apothecary a small fortune. And he won't lift a finger for us now.
Well, if you know how to cook fine food, I could get you a job at the merchant's house. You'd have a nice roof over your head there too.
All I've ever cooked is gruel and soup. Nothing fit for nobles. A roof would be grand though. Not so much for me, but for my husband. Is there any...
No. Not unless I lied about your cooking skills. But he'd find out soon enough, and then we'd both be in trouble. What did you do in Skalitz?
I was at the silverworks, roasting the ore and washing it. My husband was at the smelter.
Oh, Christ. Things got very ugly there. I suppose that's where your husband was wounded? It's a miracle you managed to drag him all the way to Ratai.
What else could I do? Leave him there?
All right. I'll think about it and talk to the bailiff.
And you'll tell him to take me.
God save you, Henry.
Be a bit more... Hey!
God bless. Can I help you?
How are you, Henry?
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Well, that's not bad, but for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Ratai?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but...
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him...
And the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can see how that would put you off him. What would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
So that's how it is it? An honest person can't get a job, only one who'll stoop to bribing?
Come now. I just want to help, but I'll have my job cut out persuading the bailiff to take you.
All right. I don't have anything, but I know the armourer in Sasau, and he'll give you a good price if I have a word with him.
Cheap armour might come in handy, all right? Done.
Done. As soon as I get the job, come and see me, and I'll tell you all about it.
That's enough for now.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
Are you here on account of the water carrier?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see, all right?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Scarlet's.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
God save you, Henry.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
Aye. I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too.
God save you, Henry.
But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
What happened with Bailiff? He couldn't get away.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
And what would you give me?
I've got...
Oh, come now.
Mother told me I should go and help.
That's enough for now.
Hey!
I am honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
You're one of the people...
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right, but...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines, and not just in the mines.
At the mines? So you're...
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft, and I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships?
I wouldn't worry. They won't let a source of silver just sit there. As soon as this thing blows over, they'll open it up again.
God willing, I hope you're right.
How badly do you want to carry water?
Well, right now there doesn't seem to be much work around for miners, and at least I can earn a few groschen.
It's not easy work, though. It's a long way to carry water.
Do you think it was easier in the mines? Digging through rock on your knees all day?
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
But it will be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. What about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
It won't come to that. Sir Radzig will surely take care of things when he returns home. He won't forget the sacrifice you make.
I'm glad to hear that. If that's how it is, I'll even carry shit.
How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Skalitz. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
Look, I can see by the way your arm is hanging it's not healed. You can't carry water like that.
Well, come on. I owe money to the Sawbones and I need the work to pay for it. I'll give you anything you want.
Well, I could find something that will help you.
Anything?
Here you go. This will help it heal better.
Thank you so much. How much do I owe?
Oh, nothing. We Skalitz folk have to help each other out.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
The bailiff said he couldn't get a word out of you.
Well, he's not the most popular man around here, after everything that's happened. You can't blame us.
Maybe, but if you lot had just talked to him, I wouldn't have to run around dealing with this, and you'd all have a few groschen by now.
You might be right, but there's no point crying over spilt milk.
What would you give if I put in a
good word?
Sure. If I put in a good word for somebody to the bailiff, then that someone has a better chance.
But I haven't got a pot to piss in. I lost everything, and I'm in debt too.
Oh? What kind of opportunity?
I heard about it at the mine, before Skalitz was raised.
So, what did you hear?
They found something they wanted kept a secret. There weren't any rumours about a silver seam, but what else could it be?
The punishment for stealing the king's silver is hanging or burning at the stake.
I know, but you can't be burned for stealing silver nobody knows about.
That's enough for now.
God save. What can I do for you?
I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Antonia.
What? A woman?
Yeah, is that a problem? You never said it had to be only men.
I didn't, but I kind of assumed it would be clear. It's a long walk with a heavy load, man's work.
She can handle the job. Have no fear.
Let's hope so. You'll have to answer to me if she can't. Where do we put her, then?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next.
Cornelius.
Ah, Cornelius. I had him here once looking for a job. Where do you want to put him? I'd like to see him with buckets of shit.
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next.
Peter, better known as Rock.
Peter? Rock? Didn't he get into a fight and injure his arm? Well, what should he do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vincent, Moimir's son.
Vincent? Never heard of him. What do you think he should do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vasil, goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No, no. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
All right.
And you'll... Henry.
God save you, Henry.
May the Lord watch you.
God save.
So, about that reward you promised me.
You kept your word, and so will I. Here you are.
Hey!
Good day, Henry.
I'm glad you're here, Henry.
What's happening, sir?
Uncle Sahanush sent for me. No doubt he wants to give me another ear-bashing about the error of my ways. And he said to bring you too.
Oh, Sakra. That doesn't sound good.
Indeed. I wonder what he wants to lecture me about this time. And you, because you're going with me.
All right, we should get going then, shouldn't we, Sir Hans? The sooner we get it over and done with, the better.
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you. I don't want you making me look bad in front of Hanush. But I see it wasn't necessary. You look as smart as any courtier.
Thanks. I'll try my best.
So I see. But you can come and get those clothes later anyway. They're a little worn, but they're as fine as anything you'll get in the county.
Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone?
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope I haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We
like
were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polna. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh, don't whine, for heaven's
sorry.
sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. Sir Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with a remnant of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulflin of Camburg, that name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too, a cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulflin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair, after all. Maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
Sir Hanish sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
Then mount up, youngster, and we'll move out.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
I want to achieve mastery.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot? Since it's you.
Come now, just a little more, and we have a deal. Agreed. Now listen up. What is it? When we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that, Bernard. I'm not going on an outing. Hanush sent me to handle this matter, and handle it I will. I know what you meant. Forget it.
All right.
Listen, Bernard, about this robber. I heard some rumours.
About his being a relative of mine, Melodus?
Something like that.
We have the same great-grandfather, Irvin, Baron of Oleshna. Wilfin belongs to a distant branch of my family, which, well, let's just say they bring no honor to our name.
But I heard Wolfen of Camber was hanged somewhere in Silesia after plundering the bishop's estate.
I heard the same, only, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about the Camberg branch of my family.
That they're cursed. Now, Bernard, don't you think I'm a little old for fairy tales?
Think what you like, but I heard it from my grandfather, and he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offence. Tell me all about it. After all, there's no smoke without fire, and I never heard about the Camber family.
Very well. At home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camberg relatives. When Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit, almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the barn. Father had them whipped. Even then, they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. They were afraid he cursed them. I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. See, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, she fell pregnant. They say she went to a witch to get rid of the child. Only she ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night?
Jesus Christ!
That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. He was disfigured. Wilhelm, they say the witch cheated her, and instead of getting rid of the child, she put the devil's seed inside her.
Good Lord, how dreadful.
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. When his own wife was in childbed, he had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. It didn't stop the rumors, though. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough, but he turned out to be as wild as a stray tomcat.
It seems he hasn't grown out of it.
You're right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. He cursed everything and everyone in his path, started throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. They sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, but because they were afraid the devil would come out of him and possess someone else. Then later, Wolfen turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. The folk who said he was dead. That wouldn't stop the devil's spawn.
Sweet Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the stories my nurse used to tell me. How are we supposed to deal with a monster like that?
Pray, Sir Hans. Pray. Whoa! Slow down. Midas and Cyril. I sent them to scout ahead. Let's pop them.
Yes, Captain.
Hey, Henry's come to see us. Henry, I'm glad you came. Good day, Henry. God be with you, Henry.
Henry, I'm glad you came. I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
Tell me, Captain, how come this wolfling is attacking his own kin?
They say blood's thicker than water, but sometimes I wonder. Look at our king and Sigismund.
So what's the cause of your conflict with Wolfling?
Nothing in particular, just that he's a ruffian, a treacherous bastard, and a bandit. No wonder the whole Camber clan is cursed.
How are you related?
Milota, Wolfin, and I have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna.
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfin's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz. She didn't want to bear his child and went to a witch to get rid of it. Only instead of getting rid of the unborn child, she ended up having 5.
What, all at the same time?
All in one night. But only one of them lived till morning. The youngest, Wilhelm. And his face was disfigured. They say the witch deceived the Countess, and it was Satan himself who impregnated her.
And you believe that story?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. I still get shivers down my spine when I think of him. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia. Then, one day, he appeared from nowhere. There are folk who say death has no power over him.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsons are holed up. According to the reports, they raided a few farms around here. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry. My men would probably just startle them.
Isn't it dangerous?
About as dangerous as sitting here in the camp.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, sir. Where are the farms they raided?
One is uphill from Neuhof, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroads, directly north from our camp.
God be with you, Henry.
Captain Bernard sent me to find out about the raid. What exactly happened?
Those filthy cutthroats beat my husband black and blue, then stole all our food stores and vanished. Poxy bastards. Poor Lumiere. He didn't want to let them get away with it, so he chased them as far as the woods. But they cut him down. Now I'm afraid he'll not live to see the light of day.
Did you see which way they went?
Along the track here, straight into the woods. My old man gave chase and fought with them by the old hunter's shelter. He slashed one of them with his sickle. He bled like a stuck pig, the bastard.
You think he might have been bleeding enough to leave a trail?
Maybe. Who knows? I just hope he's in hell where he belongs, the poxy bastard.
What were they like?
Swine and lousy curs, that's what they were like.
That's not what I meant.
No, sorry. They weren't your ordinary footpads. They were well dressed, and they talked of some lord called Wolfland.
I thought as much. Is there something I can do to help? With your husband, I mean.
I fear only God Almighty can help him now. Although, there is one thing you could do. I have to keep changing Lumiere's bandages, but I'm running out of clean linen. And I don't want to leave him alone here.
I'll see what I've got.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'll go and bandage him up right away, and let me give you a few groschen for your trouble. I've nothing left here except a few groschen I buried down by the creek. Luckily, those bastards never found them. I'll be glad to reward you.
Keep it. You need it more than I. They took everything you had.
Not everything, because you saved my dear husband. Take it. I insist.
Very well then. Thank you. That looks like blood.
What are you doing here?
Why do you ask? Can I not take a walk in the woods without being accosted?
I ask because I'm the gamekeeper here, and it's my job to protect these woods from poachers.
Well, I'm certainly not poaching.
In that case, you won't mind if I have a look what you've got on you.
Certainly. Go ahead and look.
All right. Nothing suspicious here. You may leave, Goodman.
Looks like this is the right way. That looks like blood. More blood. Must be close. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. He was bleeding plenty. Should be easy to track him. This is the way. That looks like blood. This is the way. Blood. This is the right way. Looks like I found it. I better get back and report to Captain Bernard. Looks like this is the right way.
Hey, what are you up to? What's that? Who's there? Hey, who's there? What are you doing there? Who's there? Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock. Over here! Where is everyone? Quick! Hey, all of you, gather here! Praise the alarm! Who are? Get over here!
Henry's come to see us. I'll be with you.
I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Is it far?
Not really.
How many men did you see?
Around 10.
The same as us. Well, now we'll see if my cousin is really as tough as they say. Otherwise, he'll be swinging tonight from the Rattay ramparts.
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind, lad.
Sir Hanush ordered me to avoid unnecessary casualties.
What are you trying to say?
I could go and parley with Wolflin. Even if it comes to nothing, I could have a good look at his encampment.
Bit of spying could well be of use, all right. And Wolflin's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, he'll receive you just for a chance to tell me to go to hell. I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger. And you'll have to go unarmed.
Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best.
I hope so. And try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed. Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. And you're wearing Sir Bernard's colors. Suppose I should take you to Sir Wolflin. If you try any tricks, you'll regret it. Understood?
You have my word.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Oleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
Camp life sure ain't
I'm
easy.
so hungry I can eat my boots.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
I heard some interesting tales about you. They say your family is cursed.
Ha! So Bernard's been telling those stories again.
Fucking boring.
How my Oleshna cousins do love to gossip.
So your father didn't have...
What?
Fuck.
A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was born with 4 siblings and none of them lived. True. But they always leave one thing out of that fairy tale.
What's that?
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes and her mother one of 4. That's how it goes in that family. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
No one to rob here. Fucking boring. What a shitty day. I need a good scrap.
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Oleshna?
That bastard Malota stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Malota convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back though, didn't you?
I gotta piss.
Aye, I came back. But Malota bribed a priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son, me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear my claim.
That's unfortunate. But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not, but the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts. No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten about me.
Let's settle the matter the chivalrous way. You and me, man to man. The victor takes all.
And the loser?
There'll be no loser left alive.
I like your spirit, young fellow. But why should I agree? If you win, my men will go and leave the loot here. But what if I win? I doubt Bernard will admit defeat on your account.
You'll have to see, won't you? Maybe you'll gain nothing by winning, but at least you won't lose the respect of your men.
You're a clever one. It seems a waste to kill you. But I accept your challenge.
Ow!
Is that the best you can do? Bollocks! Is that the best you... Curse it.
Killing, fighting, never losing, robbing, fucking whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village, drink, annihilate, and pillage. Henry, I'm glad you came.
I've just come back from Wolflin, Captain.
And in one piece, I see. That's something at least, but I doubt you achieved anything.
It depends how you look at it. Wolflin is dead.
What?
He's dead, Captain. I challenged him to a duel and won.
I sent you to parley, not fight. But at least I don't have to put my men's necks on the line. So something good came out of your rash disobedience.
But we'll still have to hunt down the rest of his gang.
They're less of a threat now. They'll scatter without a leader. We'll take care of them. You ride to Ratai now and report to Sir Hanush. And next time, you do as I order. Is that clear?
Yes, Captain.